I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but we're going to go ahead and try this because I might as well freaking do it anyways. So we're going to take this model of the human brain, the cortex, and figure out if we can correlate that to the cortex of reptiles. It's very difficult because we don't have the MRIs and the scans when they're actually active. We don't have the ability to do that as far as I know because they really need to be asleep if they go into a scan. So this has been a big struggle for the reptiles to understand them better. But most people don't even understand the human brain. So, and the things that we see is that the human brain has all the parts as a reptile brain. Like there is no separation here. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence that their brains basically work exactly the same. They're just mapped differently. There is zero evidence to support that they're different, that they're dramatically different, and they should be treated as such. There's zero evidence of that. You'd do really well in the community if you could actually prove that. So we're going to look at this and try, because it's interesting when we look at the brains of skinks and we see that the actual forebrain is actually longer because the OL stock pulled it, and they understand water. They can understand, so could monitor lizards. But why does something like a bearded dragon or something not have that perspective? Why does a mountain horn dragon or basically just about any normal reptile need running water? But skinks don't. They'll find it if they absolutely need it. But it's still one of those things like, and not all human brains exactly work exactly this way either. So this isn't 100%, and this would never going to be. And we're trying to do a very basic model of this because it's so hard to do that trying to deep dive even further than what I'm doing is damn near impossible, but not impossible. The deep dive that I'm doing is actually quite hard and is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. They're going to be like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. I'm going to tell you, I'm doing it. Everybody that thinks that, we're going to gatekeep this and we're not going to allow you to have any information. They can go screw themselves. I hate that shit. That shit pisses me off. Don't gatekeep science. Don't gatekeep. Don't do it. But yet, it's either people follow blindly or you end up gatekeeping so dramatically that basically you want everybody to not do anything at all, ever. Because it's not how it's done. If you don't spend the rest of your life on this one subject, you haven't done anything. It's all ridiculous. It actually pisses me off. So let's deep dive into this. So what we're seeing is, one is the optic lobe. So your cerebral cortex is in this. And so that's sight, imagination, recognition, imagery. So that's in the back. Well, this 8 over here on the second chart is actually your OL factory. So this is the OL stock. That's what this is. When you look at a reptile's brain, The OL stalk is right here. But when you look at a human's brain, it's actually right here in the number 8. So it's actually inside. So basically the stalk of a human brain has basically come out from the frontal cortex and expanded for reptiles is basically what it's happened. And so we see that, and then this goes into the forebrain, just like it does on humans. But it goes into 13 and 6. What is 6? Emotional area. Okay, so it goes into the emotional area, and 13, the frontal lobe. There's no reason to believe that's not the same for reptiles. Well, we see this. Where's the bottom here? So 20 through 23. This is the bottom. This is the top. This is the bottom. So this, 20 through 26 is actually your thalamus. The thalamus is this white matter right here that's connecting these things together. It's what's above 8 and below 6. So we could say that 18 and 19 are something to look at. 18 and 19. So let's see. So this study is in the description. 18 and 19. So let's see if we can find something that's actually unique. Okay, so here's something that's unique. What species is this? Yeah, this thing is definitely unique. What is this species? The brown basculus. Okay. That's interesting. So the connection spot, the spot that should be connecting their emotions to the thing, if it's correct. So let's go further and see what else we got. $18.19. So the brown basculus was different. There's a spot here that's different. But it's just one spot. Okay. The worm lizard. The worm lizard is different. So this is right where the connection meets. So what we're talking about here is this 18. So this is underneath. This is right where this white matter meets 18 and 19 underneath. So that's what we're looking at right now. Okay. So this one's a little different. So I believe that's the flying dragon. Yeah. That's the common flying dragon. Because that should be where the OL stock may meet, but the forebrain and that connection. Okay, so here's something drastically out of the ordinary. It's different shaped. This one's different shaped. It's not actually really different size that much. It's just a little bit smaller and different shaped. Okay, what the hell is this? Okay. Legless glass lizard. So the European glass lizard. Okay. Okay. So these two are a little different. Okay. I don't know what this species actually is. Okay. So here's the first species. It is a mildly venomous South Asian species. And then this is your egg-eating snake. An egg-eating snake. Okay. And so we can see that there's different sizes and shapes here. Overall, I really don't see a dramatic difference. I mean, there is differences here, but it's not dramatic. It's not so dramatic that it jumps out at you. Okay, so let's come back here and look. And see, that's what we were looking at right there. So right there where this connects to the brain, because it looks like the OL stalk does not attach to the thalamus, which, okay, fair enough to a point. And so it has definitely shifted. And so let's look at the optic lobe. So, man, I don't know. Let's look at the under here. Man, everything had to shift. So 2, you have your thermal. So looking at above, we might want to look at 15 through 18. 15 through 18. Okay, 15 through 18. So here's something, but I think we've already gone over this one. Yeah, this is the basculus. So 15 through 18. What is this? I don't know what this is, but oh, fuck that shit. Screw that. Okay, so very well. A shielded worm lizard is a species of family. They are found on the sexual. They are. Very tiny here, so they don't really have eyes. That's interesting. So if they don't have eyes, so this is interesting. Let's look at this. So 7 through, is it 18? Yeah, 7 through 18. So if they don't have eyes, so we're looking for something out of the ordinary. So 17. 16. No, 16 is not actually out of the ordinary. 17 is actually not either. There's got to be something here that is completely abnormal. Their brain. I don't see it in here. So let's go look at the optic tantum. Let's go see what they said about it on this worm. So the optic tantum is, they are calling it, oh, come on, dude. Come on. Catch up. M. So it's M. So the optic tantum is 26 through 38. Yeah, 38. Okay. 26 through 38. $19. See, it's not abnormal. Huh. Did I get the right species? Huh. So maybe we can't use this. Maybe we cannot use this. How are you, Oscar? How are you doing? It's been a while. He goes, I'm trying to do neuroscience with this study, trying to understand. Great. That's great to hear. That is actually great to hear. You know, I hung out with so many foreign kids that I do wonder what happened to a lot of people. And OC called me wrote me yesterday. I was very happy to hear from him, and I'm very happy to hear from you. I really am. I'm glad you're doing good. I really am. Like that is wonderful stuff to hear. Like it's so interesting to hear that people are actually doing well. But it looks like what I was trying to do today. Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like what I was trying to do today isn't going to work out the way I want it to. Yeah, I'm trying to take this study where they mapped the brains of reptiles and try to see if we could line it up with the actual brains of humans, what we understand of humans. And it's not showing up quite right. So we're not able to see where the cerebral cortex is in the forebrain, if it's there at all. We're not able to see that. So it's one of those things where, well, now we know we can't use this for that exact thing. But I'm going to try to dive back into it a little bit more and see if there's a more, see if there is something else different. Because, this right here is a reptile brain. And so we have the OL stalk right here. So you look at the humans, it's right here. It's underneath the actual forebrain. It's really tiny for us. But it's huge for them because they use their smells and stuff. And so this is the forebrain. Is this spot right here, this big black spot. This huge gray spot. And the forebrain is decision making, imagination, things like that. Your memories are there. This little piece at this top is their cerebellum. These two spots off to the side is their optic tantrum. It's the information comes in and like modeling. So if I yawn and you yawn, that's the part of the brain they're using. Is that right underneath the cerebellum? Cerebellum is about muscle and stuff. This thing in the back is their medulla. This goes straight to the spinal cords. It has your hormones, all sorts of stuff like that. It's really no different than a human brain, except ours is spherical. Theirs is a more linear model. This is an underneath view, this part right here. And this spot that looks like a cerebellum is actually the thalamus. It's this white matter right here. So it's what connects the optic tantrum to the forebrain. So it's really fascinating. And you can see it better here. This is where ours is spherical. And you have this right here at the bottom where it connects your forebrain. So these can make massive connections. This is probably why we have empathy the way we do, is because they can make this massive connection because it's a sphere, while theirs is not. This path underneath here is the same white spot. And so it should be connecting approximately about the same spots, but their whole deal may have shifted. So I don't know. How cool is that, though, that we can actually say for sure that their brains is super similar to humans, but we don't actually know the extent. And that's what I'm trying to do, is figure out that extent. And there was a study done, this where I pulled this brain model. There's a study done, and that's these numbers right here that I was looking at. So we can actually see things here. And there's so many different kinds of reptiles here. And so optic tantrum was 26 to 36, I believe. We can go back and look real quick. Oh, this is what I was talking about right here. So we can go back and look real quick. It's 27, or no, 26 through 38. Okay. And I don't see any real massive differences here that should be there. Yeah, no. So let's look. Whole brain coordination. Let's look at this one. It's the same species, it's just a different deal. Season 2. No. Subchords. So 7, 8, 16. It's the way they map this. So they have some blind species in here that don't actually have thalamus. Or they don't actually have the optic tantum. But we're really struggling. Because there's some with different eyesight stuff. So I don't think we can use this study for that. But my thinking on the front, that sucked, but that's good to know. Because it's really good to know that we're not going to be able to use this study to determine any of that data. Good. Get that out of the way. Disappointing. Very disappointing. But interesting. So what it probably means is that there is actually some differences, but why would a blind one actually have the optic tantum? It shouldn't. And so we might look into that more. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you, Ozzy. Have a good night, guys.